is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
We try to encourage folks to do the right thing. We will continue to try to encourage folks citywide to do the right thing.
Fall is in the air, but winter is right around the corner. City officials plan a change for snow removal. Why the city has to pay for something they say residents are supposed to be doing.
An event that supports domestic violence on campus has more followers than ever. Ahead, how students and the community stand up for violence.
Unpack the weather gear. A blast of cool air is on its way. Your full forecast later on.
Those stories in a moment, but first, the state budget stalemate continues.
This time, the governor says he doesn't expect any agreement within the next month. All this as government agencies across Illinois continue their cutbacks.
Governor Bruce Rauner says he will not agree to a budget unless it includes reforms from what he calls his turnaround agenda. Rauner and the Democrats have not seen eye to eye over a budget, now 4 months delayed.
University officials met with Illinois lawmakers last Tuesday, along with more than 100 WIU students who traveled to Springfield in an all-day rally to protect higher education. WIU President Jack Thomas says in a statement he's encouraged by the progress the discussions with him and other state university heads had with Governor Rauner, but notes the importance of passing a budget with the ample college funding immediately.
And tonight, 4 WIU officials addressed the Student Government Association. And a topic of interest tonight, the state budget. President Thomas, Provost Kathy Newman, Vice President Gary Biller, and Budget Director Matt Bierman will speak. SGA meets at 7. Former member of the Illinois House of Representatives, Jill Tracy, has announced her candidacy for state senate. During a press conference, Tracy was joined by other community leaders to greet supporters and answer questions.
At this point in time, you have to look what structurally causes the problem and when do you fix it, or do you just keep glossing over and just keep getting by, or can we just really from the bottom up rebuild and start anew? And I think that Governor Rauner, that's part of what he wants, and I think he is willing to negotiate somewhat.
And again, those are the reforms the governor's trying to drive. How do we reduce the cost of local governments because property taxes are so stifling here in this state?
When asked about the state budget impasse, both Tracy and Radunio dodged the question and spoke about workmen's compensation instead. Both made it clear that Rauner's reform plan was at the forefront of their mind.
The city of Macomb plans to make sidewalks safer for pedestrians by contracting an outside company to remove snow.
And limited it to what are proposed to be 3 zones, a business zone, a downtown zone, and the school zones that were initially laid out here in a proposal tonight. Might tend to abandon that concept of a citywide snow removal ordinance and focus on these zones where we constantly and chronically get complaints about inaccessibility because of snow not being removed.
Since 1994, a city ordinance required residents to clear their own sidewalk. Macomb officials decided to take responsibility away from the homeowner and place it upon the contractor. City Council will decide on the contractor at the next City Council meeting.
It's finally starting to feel like fall. Cooler temperatures and rain have been lingering around all day. Now, how much longer will this wet weather stick around?
That's right. If we take a look outside right now, 51 degrees outside, humidity 99%. It's pretty much been raining all day. Right before the show started, it was still drizzling outside. Winds were a little bit higher earlier this afternoon, but they are starting to die down east about 16 miles per hour. If we take a look right now at the radar, as you can see, this is where those eastern winds are coming in. This is the rest of the Hurricane Patricia, and it is moving from the south. It will not be out of the area until 11 o'clock tomorrow. If we take a look, though, at the temperatures around the area, you can see 51 degrees in Macomb, 50 in Galesburg, 57 in Springfield. I can let you know how much longer the rain lasts, along with those fall temperatures ahead. Trick-or-treaters may need to bundle up this weekend, but it won't be freezing. Kids will be allowed to go door to door from 6 to 8 on Friday and Saturday night. Please leave your porch light on if you plan on handing out treats. Also, be extra careful while driving through neighborhoods during these evenings. For more kind-friendly frights, Sarah and Brad Payne are the masterminds behind this haunted garage. The Haunted House of Payne is free to the public, and they ask for any non-perishable food donations for the local food pantry. The fun includes Halloween sounds, lights, and special effects that make this garage a family-friendly scare. The event takes place from 2 more nights this month. For more information, you can visit their Facebook page, Good Hope Haunted House.
An annual event on campus helps support the victims of interpersonal and domestic violence.
Around 350 people attended the event, which had the theme Straight Out of Silence to End the Violence. News 3's Jenna Brutlog has more.
Safe streets! When do we want them? Now!
Students, faculty, and community members, led by Candlelight, joined together at the 26th annual Take Back the Night. It was an emotional night with moving performances and speakers, followed by the march through town. One mother used the event as a way to teach her son.
I don't want him to be a statistic. I don't want him to be a predator.
It also gave her support for what she has been through.
It makes me feel more like a conqueror, and to hear other people's stories, to read the t-shirts, I can relate to a lot of the experiences.
Many think that Take Back the Night is just a chant through the streets, but it's also a place for families and loved ones and survivors to find help and support that they need.
I think the resources are really, really important. I know there's a lot of people who are struggling who aren't quite sure where to get help, and it's kind of an awkward thing to ask or like just go and Google. So that's really great, and you can talk to people in real time who are working for these different organizations and get help. But it's also, like you said, support. There's a huge support system because there's all these people here who are supporting them and care for them and maybe have gone through the same thing. It's also really empowering to be able to go around town and chant. And we typically walk around streets that are considered a little more dangerous, like a little darker, they're not as well lit. So places that you wouldn't want to walk alone at night, but then we walk together.
The march helps bring awareness of how many people are victims of physical violence each year. Reporting for News 3, I'm Jenna Brutlog.
Thanks, Jenna. The Western Illinois University community is devastated over the recent death of the School of Music director, Dr. Bart Shanklin. Shanklin passed away in Iowa City on October 21st. He was 64. He served the university since July of 2005. Shanklin was active in teaching a number of courses in the program, and choirs under his direction have received critical acclaim in concert tours throughout the country and abroad. In a press letter, President Jack Thomas writes, "The Western Illinois University community mourns Dr. Shanklin's death. We extend our deepest sympathies to his family and friends. Funeral services are currently pending."
After 29 years, Western Illinois University will replace the Vice President of Administrative Services. Julie Dewees will retire December 31st after 29 years of her service. Matt Bierman, currently the Budget Director at WIU, will be replacing Dewees as Interim Vice President of Administrative Services. Bierman is responsible for developing the university's $240 million all-fund budget. He's been with Western's University Housing and Dining Services since 1999. Interim Vice President of Administrative Services is the university's Chief Administrative Business and Financial Officer. He will start the first of the year.
A fire ravages downtown Farmington.
Still ahead, details of the aftermath, plus video from the scene coming up. And
a 76-year-old Morton man stops an attempted knife attack in a public library. We'll have that and more ahead.
And I'm Eric Sutera. It was a battle for the top spot in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. And to take the top spot, Western would have to top the runner-up in the NCAA FCS last season. The thrilling game and more later in sports.
Stories, they happen everywhere. At News 3, we go the distance and tell them firsthand. Across the region,
the tornado tore through a neighborhood in Washington, Illinois.
Across the state.
Here at the state capitol in Springfield for the gubernatorial race.
Across generations.
We have a lot of people that are very dedicated. We're all volunteers.
The stories that inform us, the stories that move us, the stories that matter from a fresh perspective.
My favorite thing about WIU is how much we work as a team. Everyone here has helped immensely, and when we work together, the outcome is amazing. Producing for the newscast, writing for the newscast, going to city council every Monday. It's something that I've learned that it takes a team. There's no such thing as an I. If there's an I, then we know that something's going to go wrong. I really do believe WIU has prepared me for the outside world. I can't wait to see where I end up. I have to thank everyone that has been involved. You know, Jasmine Creighton, she has managed to help me overcome that scary part. And the way that you have a great show is not the content that you have, it's the people who you work with. And here at WIU, I have had a chance to work with some excellent people.
Don't worry, the 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play more. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Emily Manley, Brianna Descoret, Storm Team 3's 5-day outlook, and sports with Aaron Sutira. Live at 4 continues.
A large fire destroyed multiple buildings in the business district of Farmington in Fulton County late in the morning.
News 3 Tony Jackson reports on the aftermath.
Behind me is the debris from 3 businesses burnt completely to the ground.
Farmington Police Chief Carl Powell, formerly a 29-year veteran of Pekin Police Department, received the call.
1:40 this morning, one of our officers driving past noticed smoke coming from the Crossroads bar. He notified the fire department, and the fire department was dispatched to the fire. There are fire departments from Tazewell County, Peoria County, Knox County, and Fulton County.
The owner of the 2 buildings next door to the Crossroads, Sam Lilly, tells his story.
Kind of ironic, my family's been in business since 1886, and this is the first time we've had a fire loss for our own building.
The fire lasted till mid-morning, and the residents of Farmington came out to assist.
Well, they try to keep them fed and keep them hydrated because they're fighting that fire. It's kind of hard to get nourishment or go somewhere, so the community comes out and helps out, and that way the firemen can stay on the job and get things done.
The fire is still under investigation. Tony Jackson, reporting for Channel 3.
Thank you, Tony. Over 30 fire departments from multiple Illinois counties arrived to battle the blaze. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured.
A woman accused of driving into a crowd during a homecoming parade is being held on $1 million bond. 25-year-old Akita Undechia faces 4 accounts of second-degree murder after police say her car plowed into a crowd of parade spectators over the weekend at Oklahoma State University. 4 people were killed, including a 2-year-old child, and dozens reported injured during the incident. Police say that they believe that the Chambers was driving under the influence. Court documents say Chambers told police she was suicidal. A trial has not been set yet. A man in Morton County, Illinois, has been hailed as hero by Governor Rauner after he saved a group of children from attempted knife attack.
WMBD's Eugene Daniel has more.
I was old, and then I got to be news, and now I'm kind of old news, and next week or 2 I'm going to go back to just being old.
James Vernon turned 76 on Sunday in what has been a wild month for the Morton man. On October 13th, he was teaching kids to play chess inside the Morton Library when a man came in wielding 2 knives.
When it first came in there, I thought, this is some kind of evil, off-the-wall Halloween prank. This isn't true. And then next thought was, this can't happen.
With the kids' safety in mind, Vernon took on the attacker and won.
And I think anybody who was able to do something like that would have done it.
Vernon doesn't think he's a hero, but try telling that to the governor. Monday, Rauner declared October 26, 2015, James Vernon Day.
He, at a threatening moment, with families' lives on the line, stepped forward, risked his own life to protect you.
It's kind of a birthday surprise anyway.
Vernon says he's surprised he was able to do it. A military veteran, it's been 50 years since he's had to put the old hands into action.
I was fortunate. This is a small price to pay. I could have lost. The blow was aimed at the neck, so could have been worse.
The jokester in him rates his fighting skills a B+. But a humble man, Vernon is ready for life to slow down. And he says he's just glad the kids are okay.
Vernon is still recovering from 2 cut arteries and a damaged tendon.
More important to him, he's ready to get back to what he loves, teaching kids the art of playing chess, which he'll do tomorrow.
It's a cool week ahead. Just another reminder, it's almost November.
That's right. I'll be in the Storm Team 3 Weather Center next.
One day, when the glory comes
it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
A march from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Mine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
If we take a look outside right behind me, you can see that there are still clouds in the sky, still some wet roads out there, still raining outside, drizzling. You know, we got through some of the heavier rain earlier today. Temperatures right now, 51 degrees, humidity at about 99%, and that's because of the rain outside. Winds did die down. We did have 20-mile-an-hour winds earlier. We're down to about 16 mile an hour from the east, and that's due to that Patricia hurricane that was coming through our area earlier today. If we take a look at the temperatures around the area, you can see that everyone is around those 60 to 50 degrees, and that's pretty much the way that it's going to stay throughout the rest of the week. If we take a look, though, this is what's going to be moving through our area until tomorrow afternoon. This is currently right now, and this is from the south, everything that is coming up from the south, and that is once again from that hurricane. Though, if we look at the temperatures for tonight, you can see that it is quite cool outside. This is for tomorrow. Until 11 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, in the morning, excuse me, you can expect to see rain through most of the morning, and that is going to get out of our area by the rest of the afternoon. If you take a look, though, at the temperatures for tomorrow, once again, we're at about the same temperature mark that we were at today, and that's the way that it's going to stay for the rest of the week. For tomorrow night, this is where we could see some freezing temperatures in our area. We're not supposed to hit the frost temp, though, of 32 degrees. We're supposed to get very, very close, though, and that's the way that the rest of the week is going to be also. We're going to be dipping in those cooler temperatures, and that's because there's a high pressure system that is out to the west for us. Tonight, though, you can see low of 51, excuse me. Rain still this evening. Winds will die down, but tomorrow the winds will pick up, and we will see gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Rain through most of the morning, and then sunshine in the afternoon. Another high day, though, of 50 degrees. And then you can see here in the 5-day forecast, more rain on Wednesday, 56 degrees on Thursday, 51, Friday 57, Saturday 59, 63 on Sunday. Sun does come out, though. After we get through all this, the rain will get out of the area, and we won't see rain again until later on next week. But until then, you know, get your blankets out, get your coats out, because it's gonna get cold again. I don't want to have to turn on the heat in my house again. I liked my electric bill last month. Oh, the windows are open and it was nice, but good weekend for football, though, right?
It'll be a little chilly on Saturday, I think.
That's football
That's
weather,
okay.
though.
That is football weather.
What can you do?
That's true.
And coming up in sports, the Macomb Bombers football team wrapped up its season on the road against the Bloomington Central Catholic Saints on Friday night. And the Leatherneck volleyball team faced another conference matchup against the North Dakota State Bison on Sunday. And on Saturday, the Leatherneck football team traveled to Illinois State University to try and upset another homecoming. And that's all coming up right after the break.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1
1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back.
There's no time to lose.
Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change.
Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet!
Dang it.
Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women.
I could use your help.
Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Now, how do you make it happen? Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Welcome back to Live at 4. It was the end of the line for the Bombers' 2015 football season as they took on the Bloomington Central Catholic Saints. Macomb would put up a goose egg at the end of the first half and be trailing 28-0. And the Bombers would get only 13 more points for the entire game and surrender 20 more. And in the end, the Bombers would fall in their last game of the season, 48-13 to the Catholic Saints. Now we'll go to college sports as Western Illinois volleyball tried to overcome an 8-home game losing streak against the North Dakota State Bison on Sunday afternoon. Let's go to Western Hall to check out the highlights. Another night sporting the pink jerseys, hoping they'll help snap a long home losing streak as the Bison would jump right out of the gate as Morgan Bullock serves it across, and it's perfectly set up by Monica Claxton right to Fassbender, and she'll get the kill for the Bison. And then continuing on here, still in the first set, a kill right there by Claxton once again. And she'll put a dent in the floor with that one, and back on top of the Bison here is the Leathernecks with Shea Sanders receives a set from Bullock, and she'll get the kill there as the Western will try to come back. And then here moving to the second set as the Western sets it up. Sanders again, she'll get the kill, but Western had a tough time struggling. As we'll see, we'll move to the second set as Western down again 15-7. Claxton with the serve set up by Abby Scurry to Shea Sanders, and she'll get the kill there for the Bison. And match point now in the second set, Michaela Pernal. And for the Bison here, kill shot right there in front of Jordan Jackson. And the Bison onto the third set would go ahead and win that third set and sweep the Leathernecks 3-0. And we'll see here as the teams are, as Western loses that game 3-0. And Western would continue to go on a 9-game losing streak at home and fall to 3-22 on the season. Their next matchup is another conference game this Friday at South Dakota. The Leatherneck men's soccer team took on Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons on the road this past Saturday night. And Western would be down 2-0 in the second half until McLean Johnson finally got the Leathernecks on the board in the 73rd minute of the game with the late goal to bring them one closer. And that's as close as the Leathernecks would get as they would follow the Mastodons 2-1. Western is now 5-9-1 on the season, and they'll play tonight on the road against the University of Milwaukee. Western Illinois football team tried to keep its 3-game winning streak alive against state rival, the ISU Redbirds, and stay undefeated in conference. And let's take a look at the highlights of this one. And on their first drive, it's Trey Roberson taking the ball himself on the outside, breaking Brett Taylor right there, and he'll take it all the way to the house. And ISU would get on the board right away on their first drive, 7-0. And it'd be Western's turn next as they would answer right back on their next drive. As it's Trenton Norvell, he'll step back to pass and airmail this one to the end zone, and he'll find Lance Lenore in the back to tie things up at 7. And we'll see the next drive for ISU, though. Trey Roberson once again. Western just has absolutely no answer to the big man as he'll run all the way to the end zone there from about 10 yards out, and ISU would go up 14-7. And just before half, Western down 21-14 as Norvell would step back to pass and find Stacy Smith Jr. in the end zone for the touchdown to tie things at 21 going into halftime. And Western defense, though, in the entire second half would have a hard time stopping the Redbirds as Marshawn Koprich gets the handoff and shakes tackles all the way to the end zone to put the Redbirds on top 35-28. Western's defense would struggle for the rest of the half as they would fall to the Redbirds 48-28. Their next contest is home this weekend on Halloween against Youngstown State, and the kickoff is set for 1 p.m. And guys, I think this one should be a good one for Western to bounce back after that tough loss.
I'm looking forward to going this weekend and being back at home.
I am too. Certainly, it would be great to be back.
Thank you so much, Eric. We'll be right back after this.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Crack yellow.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Gamers in Macomb showed off their skills against others in a Super Smash Bros. Tournament last Saturday.
Had a really good turnout. About 100 people showed up and really enjoyed it.
Players got the chance to duke it out with their favorite Nintendo characters in a battle of the best of the best.
Super Smash Bros. is a video game where players battle area style on various stages. One of the most popular Nintendo games of all time. Winners receive prizes ranging from trophies to gift cards to Walmart. We're going to take a look, though, right now at the weather. You know, in case it does get cold outside, I guess you can go play Super Smash Mario's Bro. I think I said that wrong. I'm not a gamer. But tonight, that's tomorrow, excuse me, 56 degrees, and it's supposed to rain for most of the part of the day. And then we will see some sunshine later on in the day. Winds will be very high tomorrow, 25 miles an hour. That's just the gust. If we take a look, though, at the 5-day forecast, we will see that that rain is going to get out of the area, and we will just see sunshine for the rest of the weekend. Football game on Saturday. Make sure you head out there. It's going to be a gorgeous football Saturday, 59 degrees and sunny. So what a beautiful day for us all this weekend. So make sure you get outside and enjoy it, especially with Halloween for the kids. It's going to be great. Yeah. Not freezing for them, but still good enough that they can wear their Halloween costumes.
They'll all be so cute. Yes.
For sure. That's all from us here for our studios today.
But we're just 30 minutes away from our live coverage of the WIU mock presidential election.
You can watch that online via our YouTube page, News3 WIU. We'll also be posting updates on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Emily Manley.
And for Eric Sutera, I'm Brianna Descaray.
And from all of us here at News3, have a great evening, Macomb.